Good morning, folks. This is Sunday afternoon. It's a really rainy season. This is your host Otis coming back with another video of New Zealand immigration. Today we would be talking about New Zealand visitor visa application, how you can make a visitor visa to approve it. So today I'll be showing you a paper-based application form. So how you use a paper-based application form or online to approve your visitor visa. Today I'll be only showing you the paper base, and in my next video I'll be showing you the process how you can apply online for any type of visas in New Zealand immigration. So that will be my next video. So this is a visitor visa application form INZ 1017. Do download if it is in your country that you can't apply online. There are only very few list countries that you can't apply online. That means North Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan. There are a few countries that you can't apply online, and you do have to do a paper-based form. So there are like 10 countries in the whole world that you can't do online. So most of the countries like China, Hong Kong, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan can all do online applications. So this is just a paper version, but in the next video I'll be showing you how to use an online application form. It's exactly the same form, nothing is so different, everything is same. It's just what you send online is online, and it's more faster processing that rather than an paper-based application. So we'll start from the guideline. This is the checklist. So you have to complete and sign the application form. Fee is important, 2 passport size photos, travel document or passport. Medical or chest x-ray is only needed if you're applying for a visitor visa more than 3 months. So if you're not applying for a visitor visa for more than 3 months, you don't need a medical or a chest x-ray. Evidence of financial support is needed. So if you're coming for a month, you need 1,250 New Zealand dollars to show. And this fund increases as the amount increases. So in the total year, if you're coming for 1 year of study or 1 year of anything, you need $15,000 to show in your account. If you divide 15,000 by 12, it gives you 1,250 New Zealand dollars. So if you're coming for a visitor visa, suppose example for 2 months, you need $2,500 as your bank balance. That should be more than 6 months old. So if somebody puts a bank fund into your account like in a couple of days, that will be highly objectionable. Why did this fund appear in 2 days? An explanation letter must be needed. But if the funds are 6 months old, that's fine, everything goes fine. If you don't have the funds, you can show your sponsorship form. So who can sponsor you? So the sponsor is an New Zealand citizen, an individual of a residency class holder that doesn't have a Section 49 condition, an organization registered in New Zealand as a company, incorporated society or charitable trust, a government agency including agents, tertiary institution or school boards and trustees. So basically a person who's got a residence class visa or a citizen can give you a sponsorship form, and it same applies to your partner. So if your partner is coming to New Zealand, she has to also show her funds as well. So if she's coming and you coming, so you're both coming for 2 months, so you have to show like $5,000 as your bank balance. And then if you're visiting family or friends, you must give evidence what your arrangements are, where you would be staying, what your plans are for visiting, because most of the people who do take a visitor visa as a gateway for many migrant workers to come into New Zealand and then don't go back to their own respective country. So right now New Zealand immigration is quite strict who is coming into the country and are they secured to go back to their own country after the visa has been expired. So that's the form. We'll go ahead. So just your last name, your first name. Do not staple these forms, just put a paper clip in it and please sign your photo at the back. First name, Mr., Mrs., whoever classifies, your date of birth, the city you're born in, the country you're born in, your passport number, country expiry date, any other citizenship you hold, partnership status. If you are married, you do have to provide a marriage certificate, that is a legally bind document in your own respective country. So your current residential address, you have to provide what your current address in your home country is. Provide to proof of your residential address, so it can be like a phone bill or electric bill or a credit card bill or anything like that. If you're in New Zealand, what's your most overseas address that you can provide if you're in New Zealand and then applying for a visitor visa? Name and address of communication, so same as the address above, so most of the clients have the same address. Do you authorize a person to act on your behalf? This is like immigration agent or a lawyer acting on your behalf. So it says, do you authorize the other licensed immigration advisors or exempt person from licensing who want to work organization named at B3? So that's what I told you it is, an immigration agent or something like that. Name of addresses and any family relatives or any contacts that are in New Zealand, so that you can give over here. List of all employments or self-employment, so you can give that as well. Your partner's personal details, so you can fill out the same thing as well. If you have any dependent children, you can fill out the same thing. What's your passport number? Everything is exactly the same, so I'll not go through again. This is a second child dependable, so if you don't have any child, just leave it alone, don't cross it out. So I know most of the people just cross it out and write NA and NA, so please don't do that, just leave it as blank. Come to the health section, so have you got TB? No, yes, whatever it is. Have you got any of these diseases? Yes or no. Is your wife or your partner coming with you is getting pregnant on her visit? And then if she is, yes, you have to show $9,000 extra for her medical bills and stuff like that. Medical certificate must be provided only if you're coming to New Zealand for 3 or more months. It's same applies to the police clearance. If you're coming then like suppose like a month or so, you don't need to provide a police clearance certificate. But I will give you a link in my description box where in which country you have to access which authority to get the police clearance certificate on later stage of this video. So that's the general medical certificate is required, and x-ray certificates is required. So I'll give you a list of panel of doctors in your own country, so whichever country you're coming from, you can see which doctors you can go to. So not all the doctors are allowed to give you a chest x-ray or a medical certificate according to INZ terms and condition. INZ means Immigration New Zealand. So that's your corrector. So have you been under investigation, facing charges? Simple questions Anyone can fill it out, and then the police clearance certificate. Visa type: are you outside of New Zealand? If you're applying for a visitor visa, what's the purpose of New Zealand? Visiting friends, family, vacation, conference, short term, sports, other. You can write it down. You can take up A4 page, and you can say that please see my A4 page for a descriptive explanation. And then you can give its same reference over there. The more true you say in your application, the more it will be easy for an immigration officer to assess your application. Please don't lie on your immigration visa application form, because if you get caught, you'd be banned from New Zealand, Australia, and I think so in the UK for 5 or 10 years. So please don't lie in your application. Be truthful what you're coming in New Zealand for and what's your purpose. If you're applying for a further limited visa, so that's if your visitor visa is expired and you're applying for an extension. Financial support, as I told you, you need $1,250 per month to support yourself every month. Or either you have a sponsor that can give you a sponsor letter and sign the forms for you. Declaration by applicant, so signature, parent signature, child 1, child 2, and if you have an immigration advisor, he will be filling out this form and you would be signing over here for his assistance. So now we would be looking at the fees. So I've just taken an example over here. I'll provide you this link in my description so you can check how much fees you have to pay. So I've selected I'm an Indian citizen living in India. I'm applying from Delhi and I'm applying online, and I'm one person, so the application cost is 246 New Zealand dollars. Receiving center details, this is only applicable if you apply the paper-based application form that I was showing you. I'll still give you the link of my Google Dropbox so you can access the INZ 1017. That's a visitor visa application form that if you're not confident to apply online. But the only thing is that you have to go to the VFS office in New Delhi. Sorry about that. And that's their time, what time they accept your application forms, and you can track your application from their website. The second thing I would be showing you, if you do come into New Zealand for 3 or more months, you do have to find a radiologist or a doctor near you, so you do have to do a medical certificate and an x-ray test. It has many tests in it, like a blood test, a urine test, a chest x-ray, blood test. It has got many tests in it. So I've just taken an example over here that I'm living in Hong Kong and I need a list of panel of doctors. So this is the panel of doctors, so Quality Healthcare. The address is this, the phone number is this, this is the email address, that's their website, and that's their working hours, and they issue you only an e-medical certificate. So e-medical means that they will issue you an e-medical, so it will be sent directly to Immigration New Zealand, and you'd be also given a copy of that. Just a tip, before you do go and do your medicals, I will post another video on the medicals, that what test do you need. Go into your local GP and go do those medical tests by yourself before going into one of these healthcare units, because they will send your medical history directly to Immigration New Zealand, and it can be a problematic to if you have a problem in your body or in your blood or urine, it can be a problem. So it's best to do a medical check in your own city before you go to these healthcare units. And this would be my second video after this. What does a medical check includes in, and you can do all those checks in your home city. Next topic, we're going into how to get a police clearance form. Okay, so over here I've just selected by default any country as India. So if I'm living in India and I want to get a police clearance form, where should I go to? So apply to either the regional passport office of the Indian Ministry of External Affairs or Deputy Commissioner or Superintendent of Police where you live at. A letter outlining your request. There might be a fee that you might pay to the local authority, but I don't know. But you can search any country where you want to live. So if I select Hong Kong and I'm residing inside the country, and that's the Hong Kong, so apply to the Hong Kong VAC, and they will deal with it. And what you need to pay, you have to make a bank draft of 225 Hong Kong dollars. You can select any country, whichever you like. I'm just giving you an example over here. I'll give you the link in the description, so you can select your own country and see what you need to go and where do you need to apply to. This is the second stage of the visitor visa application form. So mostly these are for the Chinese nationals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are Chinese national. If you're one of my subscribers listening to my visitor visa application form, I'll give you a link in description and you can check out. If you're a gold member of Air China or platinum member, or you do have wealth management card with Bank of China. So these if you do have one of these, they'd only fasten your process up for visitor visa application form. So generally it takes 20 working days for any visitor visa application form to be finalized. I'm guessing it might can only fast line it only to 10 working days, but not more than that. So if so the other Asian community, where it comes to Singapore Airlines, so I've opened a link in description. So if you're traveling with Singapore Airlines or Air New Zealand and you're a citizen of China, India, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand or Vietnam, and you have a member of PSS Club, KrisFly, Elite Gold or Silver status of these are the promotional programs from Singapore Airlines, it can fasten your process up for visitor visa. I'll give a description of this link below in my descriptive box so you can check it out. If you don't know how to get the gold membership or the silver membership of Singapore Air, this is the website. I'll give you the description of it. The blue one is free, but that's not eligible, so you need Elite Silver, but you need 25,000 miles for it. And this is the gold one, you need 50,000 miles for it. I'll give you the description and below so you can get these membership to fast track your visa application form, but I don't think so. You do need these things, generally speaking. Just apply beforehand. 20 working days is pretty much a month and a half, because it's working days, so Saturday, Sunday is not included, and any public holidays is not included. So take give and take, you're looking around a month and a half to process your application. So here is the list of another list of countries that don't need a visitor visa only for 3 months. So if you're an Hong Kong citizen which HKSER passport with it, or a Greece citizen, you can only travel into New Zealand for 3 months, except if you're a UK citizen. So UK citizens give a special privilege. They can travel New Zealand for 6 months without a visitor visa. So I'll give you the list of this in my description box so you can check if you do need a visitor visa application form to fill it out or not. If you belong to one of these countries, good luck. no visitor visa, just buy your A tickets and come into New Zealand to enjoy the beautiful country. But if you're coming to New Zealand for medical purposes, even though you are a citizen of these countries, you do have to make a manual visitor visa application form, either online or a paper-based application. So if you're a citizen of one of these countries, you do have to pay levy. That's what has been decided by the government from 1st of October. So you do have to pay a $9 if you do it on the free app. The free app is on the Android and the Apple Store, or if you do $12 if you complete it online on the Immigration New Zealand website. And then there is a separate extra cost of $35 for tourism levy, so that makes down to whatever figure you want to pay. Suppose you're paying online on the New Zealand immigration website, you have to pay 47 New Zealand dollars. So here's a quick glimpse of the app, how the Apple app looks like of the New Zealand immigration, and that's where you can pay the New Zealand ETA, what they call it. And that's the link for the Google app, so the Android users can download and look into that video, or pay online, pay the fees online. So this is a big video, so I've given you everything what you needed to do for a visitor visa, and I will give you a video next to this how you can do this thing online. Online is pretty much the same thing, you filling out the same thing, but if you're not confident enough to do an online application form, fill it out on the paper base. Most of the just before we wrap up this video, I do want to tell you that e-medicals are being issued by every country. There are only 2 or 3 countries that don't issue e-medical. Countries like North Korea, Afghanistan are not issuing e-medicals, so they're still using the paper-based form. So the problem with e-medical is that, as I told you in previous, if you do have a problem, Immigration New Zealand gets to know your status before then what you're having a problem, and it can be a difficulty in for later down the stage to getting your visa approved. So if you're coming for more than 3 or more months, and you do need to do a medical, check out my next video, which will tell you what test you do need to do in your home city or with your own GP to be successful in the medical test. Before I wrap up this visitor visa video, I would like to show some visitor visa that have been approved for my friends and how they do look like if you do get stamped on your passport, or you do get an e-visa. So I've got 2 types of stamped passport and it's an example of a visa. So if you look at the first sticker, the condition says to stay subject to a grant of entry permission, you must leave before your visa expires or face deportation. The holder shall not undertake any employment in New Zealand. The holder shall not study for more than 3 months in every 12 months in New Zealand. Financial support evidence not required. Return onward ticket not required. So this means to say that you don't need a return ticket to buy from your own country, so you can just buy a single way ticket to come to New Zealand, and you don't need to buy a return ticket. But if we do compare with the second option, with the visitor visa, and the condition says that stay subject to grant of entry permission, you must leave before the visa expire or face deportation. The holder shall not take employment in New Zealand. The holder shall not study for more than 3 months in every 12 months in New Zealand. So that means that you do need an onward ticket. So So you need a ticket from backwards and forwards, and on the arrival in New Zealand, Immigration New Zealand can ask you for your financial documents, so be ready. So read carefully what your visa label says and doesn't say. So I'll just head to the third example of the e-visa that I copied it from the New Zealand immigration website, and if you read the condition, the visa expires in 1 month after arrival, stay subject to the grant of entry permission. You must leave before the visa expire or face deportation. The holder shall not undertake employment in New Zealand. The holder shall not study for more than 3 months in every 12 months in New Zealand. So this one is only valid for 1 month on arrival into the country, so it doesn't mean that the visa start date is from 21st of May 2018 to 21st of July of 2018. This visa is valid for 2 months, but it's only good for 1 month. So if you depart on 21st May, you can only live till 21st of June. That's all for tonight. God bless you all. Have a good life and stay tuned. Thank you.